Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. It is Tina at Tina Stitches. Today is April 28th. It is 5 in the evening. It is Sunday, and it's been a really nice day for where I live, considering, I mean, it's been chilly, but you know, walking the dogs, all that was good. There was snow last week. It did snow again, and we're probably going to get at least one more snowfall before we can say we're done. Life update. You know, I have 3 dogs, if you're followers. One is more recent acquisition. She came to live with us 2 months ago. She's doing wonderful. She is Mommy's little girl. Our older one, the oldest one, is about 11 years old now, and he's the diabetic dog that the vet calls the $1 million dog. Well, he was living up to his title this week, last week actually. We took him to the vet, and because we noticed that his nostril was all plugged up and icky, looked like he had a cold. Well, when you look online, dogs don't get, you know, human colds. So we followed the instructions in that if it lasts more than a week, take him to the vet. The vet's an hour away, so I was able to take some time off of work in order to accompany my husband on this trip, and we were told about his condition, which is, it's a possible condition. Basically, his left eye, no, his right eye, yeah, his right eye, the tear ducts are not producing tears, and so it's getting all thick with gunk to protect the eye. Gonzo does not really have much sight left anyways. There's a couple of things that could be going on. One of them is just, it's an infection. So he's on antibiotics, an antibiotic cream, and eye drops to see, to see if the infection will go away and to help lubricate his eye in the meantime. The cream and ointment is for both eyes because the other eye has also got decreased tear function. So it could be an infection is number one. Number two is it could be a condition caused partly by the diabetes. Like it's not something that's strictly because he's diabetic that he could get this. Any dog, I think, could get this, but it's just a the nervous system is not working well, and so his tear duct is failing. I don't know if that's exactly how to describe it, but his tear duct might not recover. And so what they could do is they could take a salivary gland and reroute it up to act like a tear duct. So basically he'd be spitting in his own eye, and if he smelled a steak or something like that to make you salivate, he would be tearing up. Now, as funny as that sounds, it's probably not even worth doing because he, like I said, both his eyes are really covered thick with cataracts, so he can barely even see. So the option, there's the three options. One is to continue with the eye drops and creams, which it's not fun. Second option is that surgery, which is not, it's not really necessary because number one, doing the surgery could cause infections and he might lose his eye anyways. And number two is he doesn't use that eye anyways. So the third option is to remove the eye. We're going with the eye drops for now. We're going to see if this helps. But I do think that it won't be very long before he undergoes the surgery to remove that eye. So, yeah, he's living up to his title. And then they had a visit, they had their annual spring visit to the vet last week, and the vet reviewed the eye thing, and it's pretty much the same. It doesn't look like it's an infection because the gunk is still happening. So anyways, I might cut that and put that at the end because that's, you know, pretty depressing. 6 minutes of monologue there. So what's everybody doing for Mania? I have not got a clue. I've been debating whether or not to do Mania because I did it 2 years ago and I'm still working on those projects. But I still want to start new things, and I've done that. I've kitted up a few things, but I'm still undecided. I was thinking that I was going to do Monogamania, but I don't know which project I would pick. I have 3 finishes and a new start and nearly finish, and I have about 10 things kitted up for possibly starting in Mania. Potential starts, potential Mania. We'll see. I'm not sure how I would manage all of it. So, where should I start? I guess I will start with my whips. And I don't have any haul. No haul this week. So, I worked on 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 projects. Pretty sure. 1, 2. Oh, we'll see. I count 6 in my book here. But I don't know if that includes Alice. Yeah, it does. But I didn't work very much on that, but you'll see anyways. So let's get started with, well, let's start with Alice because it's right here. And I will insert a picture of where it was before. Get the threads out of the way. And here it is now. And I think that's it's a little bit washed out, but I am getting closer to another page finish, or two actually, because this is actually split onto 2 pages. So I think that's all that I've done, is just this motif here. Still have that little key slot to put on the door. I'm probably going to pick one of these golds and do that in the Petite Treasure braid. Can't remember which ones exactly those were, but I will try to figure that out. And all that I have left after this is the rabbit over here, which is not a lot of stitching, and then Alice over here in the top part, and then it'll be finished. This is Alice by RETM, which is out of print, and my needle minders are from Denkai Designs. The fabric is 32 count opalescent white Lugana that I dyed myself with, I think it was pearl gray and navy blue Rit. Experiment. Sorry about the barking. Gonzo was left by himself out there, and who knows what he may or may not have seen. He probably heard something. So this is the pattern, and I know Mitch Stitch just finished hers, and she made quite a few conversions as well. You'll have to go and check out her channel to see what she changed, but I'm mostly stitching the same pattern, but I'm doing my own color conversion. I'm changing it over to overdyes. And if you would like a list of what I've done, let me know and I will see what I can pull together. And this chart is spoken for, because it's hard to find. So there's that. What else did I work on? What else did I work on? Well, it's not a lot of progress, but I did work on this. This is Royal Tutor Mandala by Chatelaine, and I'll insert a picture here of what it's supposed to look like. And what it looked like before. And here it is now. And I only worked on this for 2 days, believe it or not. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since my last video, in case I didn't already say that. And the only thing that I worked on was the green in this crown here. And one of the reasons for that is because I'm not a huge fan of green. I also had something else that I had to work on, so this did get put on the wayside. Everything got put on the wayside to work on this other project that I'm going to show in a little bit. But still love this. It's got lots of sparkle, and beading is going to be quite intense on this piece. And this is stitched on 32 count opalescent Lugana. This is the same Lugana that my Alice is stitched on, only I dyed that piece. And the needle minder is one that I made myself from a pendant, and it's very blingy. So there's that. And now Gonzo wants inside. Okay, I have them all in here, so we'll see how this goes. So, the other things that I worked on. I also worked on this, and I will insert a picture here of what it's supposed to look like. And where it was before. I'm just looking for a magnet to hold my piece of paper up to it, but I can't find one right now. So this is England's Rose from a magazine from a while ago. I have the magazine right here. Just have to move a few things. Here's the magazine. Stitchery magazine from March 1998. And it's all specialty stitches basically on a mono canvas. And I'm having to do a lot of my own conversion because the thread that it called for is not available. Last time you saw it, this was finished, and I had a little bit of this part done, and I've gone ahead and done more of the gold here and some of the gold in this area here. And really that's about all that I've done. I've ordered the threads that I am thinking will work for the roses, and the threads are going to be in back order for about 4 to 6 weeks. So I'm not sure how much more I can do on this without those threads. I will have to take out this gold because I wasn't happy with it. Compared to this gold. And also, it is kind of hard to work on because I have to hold it. So what I end up doing is I prop it on my desk on a pile of boxes, and I kind of squeeze in there and stitch on it. So it's a little bit awkward to work on, I have something on the way that is probably going to help with that. So we'll see when that comes in, how helpful that is or isn't. So one more whip that I've been working on, and then we're going to get into my finishes. And I did not take it off of the frame. I'm sorry. Now I can't scooch back because of the puppies. So let's see how well I can do. This is Beloved. And there's a picture on my desk here somewhere. But if you saw Instagram, you'll see my desk is a big mess right now. So I'll insert a picture of what it's supposed to look like and of what it looked like before. And here it is now. And I have a page finish. And it's actually been finished for about 2 days, but I haven't posted any progress pictures or anything on any of the social media that I'm a part of, because I don't know why. No excuses. So this is the page here that I finished, and I can't get up because of the puppies. So this here is the bottom corner of said page. Let's see, I don't want to knock things over, so this is the page. I don't know if it's going to focus. And that needle minder, in case you were wondering, is one that I made myself. And this is stitched 2/1 half cross on 25 count even weave. And I know the red line means something. I want to say it means Zweigart, but I'm not going to guarantee that. So I have 2 more pages left, and then this row will be finished. And I'm only about 25 stitches away from the center of the design once those 2 pages are done. So that's Beloved by Heaven and Earth Designs, Adele Sessler's artwork. Now for my finishes. What did I finish first? Well, I have to reach. So the first item that I finished, I did not fully finish it right away, but I did fully finish it last weekend. And this I finished on Sunday the 14th, the day after I filmed. And this is Sweetheart Tree, Mum Quadrille, And here is my finish, fully finished. As you can see, it's a little bit different than their model. I did try putting these ribbons that I have on it, but the colors are just not quite the same. I'll just do this just to show you. It's not really going to show up very well. But the ribbon colors are a little too new looking, I want to say. So it makes the quadrille itself look dirty. So I took the ribbons off. Decided I don't like those ribbons. And what I did for the hanger, let's go like this. What I did for the hanger and the tassel is I picked a skein of each of these colors. Two of the colors are used in the design. The third color is here's the colors that I used. Come on. I used 3726, 316, and 3713 DMC, a full skein of each. Sun's getting really bright right there. And it's funny because this is actually the card that I used. I wrapped it around here until there was about 3 meters left. So about half the skein each. And folded that in half and then in half again and tied it together. And basically that's for the tassel. And then what was left with it, I hooked it up to something and I twisted and twisted and twisted until it twisted back on itself. And that's how I got the hanger. So the hanger is about 3 meters of each of those colors. Twist it all together until it folds back on itself, and then it folds back on itself again. When you twist it really, really tightly, it'll do that. And I followed the instructions in the kit that it came with, and for the actual assembly of it. The only thing that I'm not happy about is I think I pulled my tassel too tight, because I attached it to the center at the bottom and then I pulled it up, and I pulled it up I think a little too tight because mine does not hang quite as low as theirs does. But I'm okay with that. I can always fix it if I really don't like it. So that was finish number 1. And where will I put this? Let's put it over finish number 2 was and I'm sure everybody knew this was going to happen soon. Portrait of Vines. And this was finished on Tuesday. No, it was finished on Monday the 15th. I had 3 finishes that week. 2 finishes in 2 days. And this is Mirabilia's Portrait of Antique Vines, stitched on Gothic, 32 count Gothic by Picture This Plus, in the called for silks. The only difference, I did make a change, is my black back stitching where the vines and the necklace are is done with the PB03, I think it is, the black petite treasure braid. And I don't know if this is showing up very well because of the sun now. So I need to find a frame for this. There, I think that's about true right there. You can see a little bit of the sparkling happening. So that was finish number 2. And then finish number 3 is Rudolph. And really all that I had to do for this was attach some of the beads, and not even beads, some of the charms. These ones, and I think 2 over here needed to be attached. And this was finished on Friday, the 19th. And this is one of my Mania starts. I believe it was my first Mania start in 2017. I did all the Nara Carpet Christmas Eve couriers for that, and I have 2 finished, 1 indecisively finished. Still needs the beads on that one though, and the rest are in various stages of starts. They are all stitched on this 32 count Nocturne Lugana, I believe, by Picture This Plus. And I also have the sleigh started on the same slice of fabric. So, let's see. I want you to see the sparkle, but I don't want it to be washed out either. So, there is Rudolph. And I need to find some frames for these. I have Prancer framed, but it's only temporary. Is it Prancer? Is that one Prancer? Maybe Blitzen. I think it's Prancer. But that's really a temporary frame. It's not mounted properly. So there's that. Those are my finishes. And here is my last new start almost finished. See if I can put that down. Okay. And I'm not going to take it off the Q-snaps, so you're not going to see the entire thing, and I thought maybe I would get it finished. And maybe I would have it finished if I had worked on it last night, but I decided to work on Alice instead. So, this is one that I had in my haul last week, 2 weeks ago. It was in my haul, and I worked on it nearly every day since I got it, and it is the Love Sampler by Sweetheart Tree. And I think I explained in my video about why I wanted to stitch it. And even now I am undecided as to whether or not I will give it to them, because I just don't know if it's something they'll take with them. So I will take, maybe I'll take the top snap off, and so this is where I am. Made it all the way to the bottom. Just need to do the beads from the top down, but bottom row down here, this row here, is all that's left as far as stitching. And that kind of gives you an idea of the white work on it. And there is a little bit of stitching back there. Sweetheart Tree does a lot of intricate types of stitches, and they look difficult, but they're not terribly difficult for an experienced cross stitcher. Anybody, I think, could pick this up who's familiar with counted threads. And once the beads are on this, this is really going to sparkle. So all that's left on here is there's are you gonna focus? Come on. Well, anyways, there's this band down here, and the inside of this has some Algerian eyelets, and then it's the beads, and then it's finished. So yeah, this row and that, and then beads, and then finished. And the going away party is on Tuesday. Today is Sunday. So we'll see. We will see. So there's that. Now, I think that was all my whips. That was all my finishes. I have no haul, but I am this close to participating in Mania. Another thing I wanted to, somebody had asked me about, which I just noticed right now, right over here. Crazy. Right over there. That is Wherefore Art Thou by Mirabilia. In front of that last week was hanging this one. And somebody had asked me to show it. And this is Garden Party by Mirabilia. And I finished this one about 2 years ago, right when I first started doing Flosstube. And I still don't have it framed. I don't want to put it in the bin of shame, though. I don't want a bin of shame anymore. I keep intending to do a project roll so that I can have these all rolled up nicely and not folded up and not crushed. And this is all on the called for fabric, which I believe is dusky blue, 32 count by Swagart. Whatever the pattern called for, that's what this fabric is. And this is a good example of what I do with my beads. Except that the sun is not cooperating. But I bead it doesn't want to cooperate. Let's see. So I change the directions of the beads depending on how I want them to sparkle. And in her headdress, it's not really showing up very well, but the beads on one side are going in one direction and the beads on the other are going in another. On the earring is the same thing. And I use the DMC thread that matches either the stitch around it or the background fabric. And sometimes that can change the color of the bead. And I believe that this bead here and this bead here are the same color, but because I used a dark blue thread to attach my beads, this bead looks like it's a darker bead. Well, the sun is messing with us here, but I think you get the picture. And I wish I had a big piece of cardboard like Stephanie does to put behind this to really show you guys. So, okay. So that was that. And now we're more than, I don't know, 45 minutes in, and I haven't talked Mania yet, except for little things. So, like I said, this close to doing Mania. Then I saw Sunshine Stitcher's video, and I saw Gary's lineup, and most of the stuff is not something that I would consider, but then he pulled out Nara Carpet's Trick or Treat Fairy, and I was like, oh, I have that one. I really need to start that one. And so I looked online as to which magazine it's in, because I have a ton of magazines, and that's of course where I got it. And I pulled out the magazine, and I pulled out the fabrics that I have, and I started going crazy. So here is my mania. This is my stitching journal. Basically all I do is I have a list and I mark off when I stitch on it during the day, which day. So Mania, I've colored in the ones that I've started my original 2017 Mania. So those are all the reindeer and the sleigh. So on the second I did Dasher. So I marked it for the second, and then the third, and then this one was finished. So then it's Vixen and Comet and Donner and Blitz and Sleigh. And I put Alice in here as well. This is not the same Alice that I had in 2017. I had a different Alice pattern, but I figured I'll give this one a day. So it's the same day as the previous Alice. So all of these Post-its are my things that I've had kitted up for a while, and why not start them in Mania, right? Crazy. This one here, Peacock Sampler and the Sewing Scissors, I actually had those written down in 2017 Mania, like potential Manias. Same with Ella. Mirabilia here, I put Ella as a, I mean, I've had those since 2017 ready to go. The only problem is Ella, I bought the original. I bought the original fabric, and now I'm switching out fabrics and looking at not using that fabric for that. So anyways, I will quickly run through what I have. That list is those Post-its are in no particular order, and this pile is in no particular order. So I'm going to start with, because it's at the top of the pile, and that is the Nara Carpet Trick or Treat. Why I haven't started this yet, I really don't know. And so why not, right? Well, one of the reasons is I don't have the fabric. I didn't have the fabric. So I went into my fabric pile and I pulled out. This was right on top of the fabric pile, and this is a cut piece of 28 count antique white cashel, which I think was probably used for the Just Nan pincushion that's up there. I showed it in a previous video. So I'm pretty sure that's where I got this, and I measured what was left. I thought that would be I thought it would be an appropriate size. All I'd have to do is dye it, but it is not. According to the stitch count, I would only have 2 inches on each side, and because of this cut into it, I decided not to go with this. But I did keep it out for something else, which I will show you. So then I found this, which, well, actually first I debated using this, which is the leftover fabric that I have from the reindeer. I ordered a huge piece of this 32 count Belfast Nocturne linen by Picture This Plus, and I still have a good sized piece left, and I thought about using it, but that would mean stealing it from a different project, which I really liked this one for that project. Gonzo's being a jerk because it's almost supper time. So, sorry. Try to make this quick. So anyways, yeah, I thought, see, I'm going back and forth here. So I thought this pattern would look really good on this fabric. And I still think it would. But when I went into my fabric pile, bin, whatever, I discovered I have this piece of 32 count vintage country mocha. Don't know who made it. But, and it's not showing up as good. I think that's pretty close. I don't know who did this, but it's a printed fabric. The opposite side is just plain, and this side has a pattern printed on it. And I thought that is pretty close, and it's the right size. I really would have preferred to switch it up to a gray or a blue, but I had this sitting there waiting for a pattern, and so there it is. So that's a maybe number one, and I got nowhere to put these. So the next one that I was thinking is the one where I've been reserving this fabric for, and that is another Halloween pattern, Whispered by the Wind. I don't know what happened there, but I have a bad feeling. I was talking about my mania plans, and then my computer just went to Google. Camera shut down and everything. So, I don't know, you might have missed the last, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20, I don't know. But anyways, this fabric I've held aside for this pattern, which in my eyes it looks exactly like the model, but the model is they stitched it on Mirage Lugana. This is 32 count Nocturne. So this is the right size for this, and I've got the floss. I am missing one color, but it's probably only used in the moon because it's a very light gray, and the rest of those are dark grays or black. So that's a potential start number 2. Those are the only 2 really big ones. And I have an extra Ziploc bag. So, the rest of these are smaller. I think I showed this in my last video. I have the clock for it, but the glass broke. They're sending me a replacement. I plan to stitch as a clock, so I need to use the right stitch count, which I didn't look up, but I pulled some fabric and some floss, and I am not sure which way I'm going to go. I can either go with blackboard and tin bucket. Tin bucket is one of the called for threads, and I lost my board. So I can go with those, or I can go with these, Battleship and Gunmetal. And I did originally have this fabric, which is a remnant piece that I got from Hand Dyed by Rolanda, but it's not quite the look I was going for. This is a little bit more of a flesh tone than a brown. Of course not, it's not going to show up. So I was not 100% that's the fabric I want, so that is not going to be the fabric. Instead, I'm going to go with the crisp white cashel linen because I have it and I'm pretty sure it is the right count size. I might have to stitch it over one. We'll see. So I'm going to throw that back in there. Throw the threads in there anyways. So that's a potential start number 3. These 2 I would really like to start, but I don't have any fabric. So I guess that's not going to happen. This one I've had for a long time. I've stitched the box, which is right over there. You can't see the top. But this was a set, and this is actually 4 pieces, 8 pieces stitched and then sewn together. And it's the whole kit. So I could throw this in my take to work and stitch at lunch bag. So potential start number whatever. This one I just finished Mom. Took me 2 years. You know, maybe I can get Dad finished a little sooner than that. But why not, right? And these are for me. They're not for anybody else. The reason being, my son bought me the Mum for Christmas one year. He saw it on my wish list and he bought it for me. So Dad went on sale and I grabbed it. So there's another potential start. Just Nan, Miss Kitty's pin cube I've had in my stash for a long time. It was a gift from Susan, and she even got me the the kitty cat pin that goes with it. I bought the called for fabric. I just haven't started it yet. And I don't know why. So that's another potential start. And of course, I got this not that long ago on Michelle Bendy's raising money sale, and I got all the silks and everything with it. It's already kitted up, ready to go. Maybe that'll be a start. Don't be surprised if you see a big pile of fabric falling back there. And this one is something else that I've had kitted up for a long time, and I don't know why I haven't started it. Peacock Sampler by Victoria Sampler. And the only things, well, there are changes that I'm going to make. I don't like brown. So I bought some blues and greens that I might substitute out. And these, I bought all these silks before I started doing my Royal Tutor Mandala, so I might even have some silks in there left over that I can sub into this instead. And this is not huge. It shouldn't take long. And I don't know why I haven't started it. So I don't know how I'm going to manage Mania. Is it going to fall? Yeah, let's just put these all back over here where they won't fall on the floor. Okay, so I don't know how I'm going to manage. I don't know if I'm going to get any of them started, or if I'm not going to start anything. So we'll see. I mean, there's no excuse, but they're not huge things, and just a couple stitches. No, don't you go. I don't know what they're barking at. My husband could be coming up the stairs to feed them. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I had to share. I was going to share you a floss pull thing that I was going to show you some colors that I have pulled for this design, but it turns out I had the called for colors and it was way off from what I expected. Turns out that Cadet, for this, it calls for Cadet by Weeks Dye Works, and I was thinking that was blues, like Air Force cadets, pale blue. This is a blue sampler, but turns out I had Cadet, and it's green. It's actually this row right here is, come on, right there. That row of specialty stitches is Cadet, and because of the sun you can't really tell anyways, but it's actually shades of green. So I was way off. Oh, and this is another, look at that. I almost forgot another potential start. This is another sweetheart tree, chubby nutcracker, because it's a nutcracker. And why not? Right? I've been meaning to start that one for like 2 years now. Pretty sure he was on the list in 2017 and just didn't make the cut. So, I think I've kept you guys long enough. There are way too many videos to go and watch. One of these days, very soon, I am going to have a 2-year anniversary giveaway. Because that happened last month, or this month, depending on when you're watching it. It was sometime in early April when I started videoing. So I'm going to have to get some stuff together and do a giveaway. But as for right now, I have to go. I have to feed some dogs, give one dog his eye medicine, and I will try to check back with you in about 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or 4, depending on how nuts it is here. Maybe I'll have some haul. I am expecting a couple of things now, so we'll see. Maybe I have some stuff to show you. Maybe I have some progress on some new starts. Or maybe I won't. Maybe. We'll see. Anyways, have fun. Enjoy your mania, however you decide to do it or don't do it. And cheer on all those people who are doing it. And I know I didn't say it earlier, but I hope you all had a wonderful Easter. I know a lot of people don't celebrate Easter as Easter, but enjoyed the time off, so spent time with your family, and I hope everything was good. And now I'm going to leave you. Okay, bye.